kid you not. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Expressively Fee. My name is Fiance, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to my video today. Leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe if you vibe with me, you vibe with my channel, you vibe with this video. If you don't vibe, let it fly. Alright, so today I have 4 signs that you're being too humble, along with 4 ways to overcome this too humble complex, because it is 2022 and we are no longer being too humble. Now, there's a huge difference between being humble and too humble, and I'm sure if you have attracted this video, you have been on the spectrum of being too humble, aka playing small. And before I get into these signs, let's talk about what a humble person is. So we know that a humble person is someone who is grounded. They are grounded in their values and they are grounded in their beliefs. A humble person knows that they're not above nor are they below anyone else. So they look to others as their peers, as their brothers and as their sisters. Because a humble person knows we all came to this world to show something, to bring something to the world. And they themselves know what they bring to the table. A humble person is someone who is also aware of themselves. They take accountability. They're able to own up to their shortcomings and their wrongdoings and their mistakes. And lastly, a humble person is someone who can find solutions to certain problems and decisions that they either have made or have encountered. So overall, the humble never fumbles or stumbles around here. We know that humility is needed in all areas of life to grow, to learn, and to experience. So this video is not about going out into the world to step on people's toes, even though people probably have been stepping on your toes. You feel me? They've been stepping on your toes. But this is just about progressing above this too humble complex and really taking full advantage of your life, taking full responsibility for your life, actually putting in all the work and, doing what it is that you need to do, stepping into your power, all those, whatever it is you're trying to do in your life, all right, to overcome this too humble complex. Also, before I get into these signs, let me just say this. Yes, the things I'm going to mention do have to do with low self-esteem, low confidence, have to do with childhood experiences. But I'm sure many of you are already aware of these things and just having a hard time really, surpassing these situations that you have experienced and overcoming it. So I just want to mention that. Let's officially get into the signs. So the first sign is that you dim your light. You're being too humble by dimming yourself down. Now, there's many reasons as to why people dim their light, but the most obvious reason is because your light makes people feel uncomfortable. When you shine, you make people feel some type of way. And so to avoid making people feel uncomfortable, you probably have developed a sense to, tone yourself down to avoid that rejection. So you probably have faced rejection, being ostracized by the people you love, your friends, your family, being left out because your light shines bright, all right? You're probably somebody who people naturally gravitate to. When you go out in public, people naturally come up to you. People naturally stare at you. People naturally want to talk to you. It's because your light shines bright. But over time, you have developed a belief, possibly, through whatever experience. But I'm going to bring up an experience I feel that many of us have all experienced and didn't even realize that these type of experiences actually can linger on into our life, our adult life later on. And it's going to be as simple as this. Say when you were younger, or even currently, you are somebody who has an open ear, eye contact. You naturally are somebody who gives advice, naturally somebody who likes to, be supportive of your friends, your family, or whoever it is. And they come at you with some good news, right? And you over there like, oh, I'm happy for you. You clapping for them. You genuinely, listening and everything else. But when it comes down to you, all right, when it comes down to you, when you have some good news, these people are nowhere to be found. These people are all of a sudden silent. All of a sudden, they grab their phone. They got a phone call when you talk about your good news. All of a sudden, they receive a text. They don't want to see what it is that you showing them on your phone. All right? They don't want to see you receive. They don't want to see you happy. So they project onto you because they lack some form of luster within themselves. So they put that onto you. They start to put that into your own mind that, okay, maybe what it is that I have going on in my life is not as important. It's not as exciting as other people's. You know, maybe my goals, my dreams, my talents, my skills is not as great, not as grand for me to actually take action towards. You know, when people that you expect to support you, that you expect to clap for you, you know, don't do those things, you actually will start to develop these beliefs about yourself like, you know, maybe this is really not for me. Whole time is for you. These people got you think you're doing too much when really you have not been doing enough. So I'm gonna need you to step it up a notch whenever you feel called to. All right, this video is all about motivation. So if I start getting preachy, I apologize. But seriously, you know, you're probably somebody who naturally has a beautiful personality, somebody who, you know, people don't like individuals. So when you're an individual, people are going to criticize you. People are going to mock you. People are going to have something to say. It's just what it is. We live in such a judgmental society and very divided society. And many of you feel called. Many of us, many people in the world have dimmed their light because of it. You know, you also have dimmed yourself down due to not wanting to be alone. Because, like I said, your light shines bright. I'm gonna keep mentioning your light shines bright. You're gonna outshine other people who don't know how to tap into their own light. When you dim your light, you are hindering your growth. You're hindering opportunities from people, places, and things that could have came in that would naturally accept you for who you are. So, with that being said, it's time for you to really take ownership of your light that God has gifted you with and really step into that full representation of that light that you hold within yourself. All right? No more of that. No more dimming yourself down. All right? So overall, that's how you've been being too humble, by dimming yourself down in many different ways, whether it be, I can go on with this one. All right, I could go on with this. I also want to mention, you know, by people, you know, ostracizing you, making you feel invisible, you probably naturally put on an invisible cloak when you leave the house. You naturally don't want to be seen. You naturally want to be kept in the background when you're not even meant to be kept in the background. Now, I will say you have those people who are meant to be in the forefront and those people who are actually meant to be in the background. Some people thrive in the background. But either way it go, you should not be dimming your light whether you're in the background or in the forefront. So with that being said, enough is enough. If people feel some type of way, they gotta go. They gotta bounce. So, now the second sign is going to be that you are a yes man. Alright, you are a yes man and you are a people pleaser. And how are you being too humble? Well, you are somebody who people will naturally walk all over. You are somebody who is looked upon as weak. Somebody who people will take advantage of very quickly. People probably have taken your kindness for weakness. Have possibly, you know, did you dirty, and you have allowed them people to come back into your life multiple times. It don't matter who it is. And these people probably still try to do this to this day because you had no clear boundaries, or possibly in the past, you know, had no clear boundaries. So they would come in, come out, come in, come out. They didn't respect you. All right, you're looked at as someone who is not to be respected. Now, there comes a time where you should be a yes man. You should be a people pleaser. Not in that way, not in that instance. But in this instance, for this video, it can actually do a lot of harm to you over time. Mentally, physically, spiritually. All right, you are basically catering to everybody else's needs but your own. You are not catering to your health, your well-being, none of that. Okay, and you are someone who is basically lying to themselves and lying to others, not being truthful about how you truly feel, not using your voice. And that's something I myself had a hard time doing, was using my voice, not saying no, right? Not saying no when I didn't agree to something, not saying no when I didn't want to go to a certain place. You know, you'll have those people that call you up and contact you because they have nobody else to go with them to a party, so they want to invite you. Other times they're not going to invite you to no party or whatever it is, you know. You have people who will keep you around because you're a yes man and a people pleaser, because they know that you are going to boost their ego, that you're going to be that person who's going to work all those hours at that job when you really have a whole lot of other things in your life to do. You have kids or whatever, you have other responsibilities, and they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to take advantage of your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul, and your spirit. And, you know, next thing you know, your whole identity is going to be taken away from you. When you're being a yes man and a people pleaser, you are falling into a follower category. You're being, every time I'm vibing, y'all, I've been getting distractions literally this whole time trying to make this video. But every time, you know, hold on, this just threw me off. Let me turn this off. So pretty much you fall into a follower category, you guys. All right, you become somebody who's a follower, and basically also getting looked at as someone not to take serious, not to take your opinion serious, not to take your advice serious. People don't even want you around, really. They just use you for their own, you know, they abuse their power on you. And yes, that karma does come back and tear them up. Okay, tear everybody up. But they abuse their power on you. You're somebody who takes the blame when you're not the one to be blamed for. Okay? When you're being a people pleaser, you are, how can I put, I want to say you fear being called selfish because, and you fear conflict. You know, you want to avoid conflict at all costs. You want to avoid people getting upset with you, or you want to avoid that guilt that comes up when you do say no, when you do speak what's on your mind. And you know that guilt does come up a lot of the time because you have been saying yes for so long that, you know, people are expecting you to say yes. People are expecting you to do what it is that you've always been doing. And that if you do something different, they're not going to like you anymore. They're not going to want you around. And that does happen. But that's you setting those boundaries. That's you putting some respect on your name. Put some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying? Tell the people, I mean, when you come around, be like, put some respect on my name. You feel me? All right, I'm done with that one. The third sign, y'all, I hope this video is not long because this phone just messed me up. The third sign is that you don't know your true value, okay? You're somebody who settles for less. You settle in life. You settle for careers. You settle for, you know, mediocre things, all right? You settle for things that ain't really for you. You know, you find many people chasing dreams or going after careers that it's what their parents want them to do, but not really what they want to do. I feel that you must truly love what it is you do to really have success, to really succeed, to really be happy and make other people happy. Because the goal in what you do is to make other people happy as well, and it's going to bring you happiness. But if you're doing it in a way where you lack, you know, you lack that sense of self, you lack that sense of decision or clarity, you're going to basically settle in life. You're going to look at life as, you know, there's nothing out there for me. There's nothing much out there for me. So let me settle for this man or this woman because I'm getting up there in age. Oh, you know, we think that there's a specific order to life. Like there's this A, B, C, D, E, F, G to life. Like, oh, I must do this in this order. If I don't get this done at this age, oh, I can't do it then. Oh, if I don't get married at this age, have kids by this time, oh, my life is over. You know what I'm saying? People start to settle because we have this terrible limiting belief system within the collective. And it's something that we all are actually being faced with right now to overcome. And not everybody's going to overcome it. So when it comes down to your worth, you must learn your worth. It's hard. We don't know our worth until we experience something. And not everybody when they experience something, can grow or learn from it. So you must learn from everything that you experience, because Earth is a school. Earth is a school. We came here to experience things. No, and I will say, I don't believe everybody came to this earth to live a miserable life. We came here to overcome things, to realize like there's more out there for me. So you have to develop a grander way of thinking. Have more gratitude in your life. And it's hard to have gratitude when things are falling apart. It's hard to keep faith when things are falling apart. But that's something that you must develop and work on and work towards. All right. And now the fourth sign is that you are a perfectionist. And this is something I constantly have a hard time with. Now, being a perfectionist has nothing to do with you, trying to be better than anyone. But you develop this perfectionistic tendencies, paying attention to every detail. You know what I'm saying? You probably working on a project and now you like, oh, I got to do this one. Boom, you paying attention to everything. Next thing you know, it's 10 years later and then something new that came out. Now you working on that and you ain't never put out your project. All right, you ain't never put out that business idea. You ain't never did this because you paying attention to every little detail. All right. And you're also falling into that, again, that people pleaser type of thing. You wanted people to like what it is that you do, like what it is that you offer, like who you are. You want to be presentable. Of course you want to be presentable, but you want to be presentable in the ways of people liking you, and you're playing small by doing that, because not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to honor what it is that you do. Not everybody's going to be open to what it is that you do. And that's just what it is, okay? And also, when you're being a perfectionist, you are falling into that self-doubt. And that self-doubt would lead you into actually not even, wanting to pretty much give up. It will lead into you wanting to give up and falling into self-deprecating thoughts, being overly critical of yourself, and falling into imposter syndrome. And I feel many entrepreneurs, small business owners fall into imposter syndrome, feeling like a fraud, feeling like what it is that you're doing is fraudulent. Like, I don't have enough information. I'm not educated enough. I don't know enough. I haven't experienced enough, when you have. Okay. And lastly, I want to mention, when it comes to being a perfectionist, we think that there's a right time, which I do believe there is a right time when it comes to you intuitively knowing the right time. But there comes a time where you're being overly aware of the right time, and then you miss out on even, putting out your work or whatever it is, because you're being too perfectionistic. All right, y'all. Now, let's get into a few of the ways to overcome this too humble complex. Now, the first way is going to be to observe yourself, to observe your body. You'll notice when you're out in public, certain tensions will arise in your body. When you get around a certain amount of people, you get tension in your body. You find yourself biting your nails or twisting your fingers. Like, many of us introverts actually face this a lot. And which is why you don't see a lot of us always out. And, but how can I put this? You want to pay attention to your body. You want to pay attention to what comes up, during that time. And you want to write these things down, so that way you can work on these things and understand where these things actually come from. And along with that, as empaths, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are empaths, which, empaths can pick up on energy very easily, very quickly. You want to pay attention to your energy. Do you find yourself shrinking your energy? Do you find yourself minimizing yourself? Because, as an empathic person, you will pick up on a negative person faster than you pick up on a positive person. You could be having a great time. Next thing you know, that negative person comes in and, soak up all your energy. Take on all your energy. Now all you worried about is this negative person in the room. One thing you have to work on is your energy. Work on, allowing your energy to be put out. Don't shrink your energy, but put it out there. And overall, you want to observe your energy in your body and write down the things that you observe to work on them, and also to see why you do this and when do you do it as well. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, the second is going to be to put yourself out there. Allow yourself to be seen. As I stated before, people are going to judge you. People are going to have something to say, especially people you have been around, you grew up around. They're going to see you out here doing your thing and they're going to feel some type of way. Who cares? So put yourself out there. Do things different. Be adventurous. Experience life. And one thing I honestly recommend everybody to do is take a solo trip. Taking a solo trip will literally open your mind to so many different things. You know, so many different realities, to the point where like you have no reason to sit back and play small. You have no reason to live your life how you've been living it. So, for an example, you may be somebody who writes poetry, have been a writer since you were a child, and you finally got the confidence to go out into the world and join a poetry competition. And you know, you may not have won, but you put yourself out there, and next thing you know, you collaborating with people that you met there, and you onto some bigger and better things. And it comes with putting yourself out there. All right, so and that overall goes for everything. Putting yourself out there for love, for career, for a business, for friendships, for a variety of things. Overall, nobody's going to come to your door, ring your doorbell. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, put yourself out there is the second sign, or second way. The third way is going to be to find out your blueprint. To overcome this humble complex, you must find out your blueprint. What do I mean by that? I mean, you must find out who you are. Find out why you're here the best way you can. And though this video is not about Black people, I will say, as a Black person, especially a Black person in America, many of us have gotten, you know, things taken from us, our history taken from us. We don't know if we're indigenous to the United States or we are from Africa. We don't know, you know, and a lot of us tend to play very mediocre. You know, we look back, and even if you're not Black, by the way, you look back into your history, into your ancestry, or into your family, and you're like, yo, were they really living up to their expectations, or were they really playing small? And you'll notice a lot of them were playing small. A lot of them were just living day to day, being programmed to seek these people's advice and help when they were just really tearing them down mentally. The goal was really to program and have everybody robotic, and that's what's going on right now. So the goal is to find out your blueprint, really break out of that mold, and really switch some shit up. All right, that's what you gotta do. And some ways that I've been figuring out my own blueprint, or some ways that you can figure out your own blueprint, is to try your best to learn about your ancestry. You know, ask questions. You know, because a lot of us come from royal bloodlines, and when you don't know where you come from, you will fall for anything. You will settle for anything. And a lot of us Black people don't know that. Don't know where we come from. So you see a lot of us just living our life day to day, buying BS. You know, not really doing what we should be doing. And I see that changing, but I just wanted to put that out there. Overall, another way to find out your blueprint is to study astrology. I promise you guys. If you don't already study astrology, I think everybody should study astrology. It goes deep, and it's something that always changes. And even though they think it's witchcraft or demonic or whatever they think astrology is, I don't know. It's not. Okay, it's the total opposite. It has been something that has helped me for some time now. So yeah. I would say those two ways, along with you just doing things differently, doing things out of the norm than your family normally would. Now, the fourth way to overcome this too humble complex is to be more assertive. And this is something I've had a hard time with. I had trouble with literally all my life. was being more assertive. I feel like I've been more of a passive person for a very long time, just always just, being too nice and too naive, too gullible, and bro, I kid you not. Alright, you guys, I'm back with the 4th way to overcome this too humble complex, which is, as I mentioned, to be more assertive. Now, the goal when it comes to being more assertive is to be more concise, more straightforward, more direct, more honest, more truthful when it comes to voicing your opinions, when it comes to using your voice, standing up for yourself. But what it is that you're doing is doing it in a way where you're not causing any drama or conflict. So you're speaking your mind, using that throat chakra, all right? Saying how you feel, saying what it is that you want, that you desire, that you need to that person, place, or thing, even if they don't value what it is that you're saying or what it is that you're wanting. They're not giving it to you necessarily. You're still decluttering your mind from saying what you said. You know what I'm saying? You still said what you said, and you still did what you did. And either they're gonna respect it or they're not. And you're leaving it as is. You're not, arguing about it. You're going about your day. So that's the goal with assertiveness. You want to leave all emotions out of it and learn to not react. Because when we react, when they say think before you speak, many of us tend to not think before we speak. We don't listen to other people and we will react immediately, and it will be total miscommunication. So you also want to have an understanding for what other people are saying, but also you have your own understanding and keep your wits about yourself when it comes down to your beliefs, your opinions, your wants and your needs. Also, when it comes to being assertive, you want to work on your body language, because that's also a part of being assertive. And also use the word I, okay? You want to say I want, I need. Using those affirmations as well to work on your confidence level, because it takes time and it takes, baby steps when it comes to tapping into this assertiveness, which is totally different from being aggressive. Now, I found this online and I wanted to read it because I think it makes so much sense to me. This is just a pure example. So a passive person would say, sure, I'd love to help. An aggressive person would say, I'm tired of your whining and neediness. You never do anything for yourself. And then an assertive person, I'm not going to be able to help this time. Simple as that. You want to keep it as simple as that. You ain't trying to cause no conflict, but you also ain't trying to be no yes man, a people pleaser. So that's the goal of being assertive. It takes time and practice and things of that nature, but you got this, all right? And now, actually, I have 5 ways to overcome that I didn't mention in the beginning. The 5th way is going to be to move in silence, all right? So how are you overcoming this too humble complex by moving in silence? Well, you are avoiding the negative Nancy syndrome for planting seed in your head. Okay, people will intentionally and unintentionally plant seeds in your mind, so that way you don't go after your dreams, your goals, or ambitions. So that way you can look at your life and look at yourself in a negative way, because that's how they look at their life and their self. A lot of people tend to not have big imaginations, and you may be a person who has a big imagination, who has pizzazz and somebody who knows for a fact there's more to life. But you're surrounding yourself around the wrong people. You're telling your big ideas to the wrong people, and they're causing you to slow yourself down. Next thing you know, you could have been did this and then did that years ago, but you've been around the wrong people this whole entire time. So you want to watch what you tell people, and you want to start moving a little differently. Okay, move a little differently. Keep your moves to yourself, especially if you don't trust a person or place or thing. And so those are overall the 5 ways to overcome being too humble, all right? And I forgot to mention, we people are taught that in order to be humble, we must avoid talking about our accomplishments, talking about our strengths. When in reality, we must avoid talking about, or we must avoid competitive risk. Competitive risk is you falling into that competitiveness, that one-upping, that need to beat somebody, you know? And I feel that we have all possibly have found ourselves tempted to compete or you know, fall into that category. But I feel that 1%, especially in this day and age with social media, that 1% caught on to themselves. Like, why am I about to compete with somebody? You know what I'm saying? So overall, be open to talk about yourself. Be open to talk about your talents, your skills, and your gifts. Be open to talk about your accomplishments. And even if the people you surrounding yourself around, you know, feel some type of way, that's their problem. Anyways, I believe that is all I have for this video, y'all. And yeah, learn to be more in the present moment. Learn to release any expectations for other people. Otherwise, you'll be stuck all your life expecting an apology, expecting a phone call, expecting somebody to come in and save you, expecting, you know, expect the unexpected and be in the present. Okay, that's my last advice for you. All right, y'all, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you guys.